Hi, my name is Kimatashi, and I'm from Dyer, Indiana. I have a profound hearing loss. I've had it since I was a baby. My mom had a German measles. So I had a high fever. I almost died. So I had a blood transfusion. So that's how I lived, but I lost my hearing. So right now, I'm a lip reader, and all of my kids know how to read lips. So I think that's a good thing because they might need it down the road. Because if you lose your hearing today, they can't communicate. So I think they won't have a problem when they get older because they can just read lips. My one daughter, Elizabeth, wants to be a cochlear implant surgeon.
Okay.
So I thought that's awesome because I got a cochlear implant 2 years ago, and that's what she decided she wanted to do. So I took her with me to the hospital to meet my doctor. We had a mapping, and so she's fascinated by that. So I'm proud of her. I heard about a cochlear implant about 10 years ago. My son Butch, who came over to my house, and he was one of my classmates from when I was little. My classmates from when I was little, we only have 5 of us in my class. So we were a very tight, close family, okay? It was 2 girls and 3 boys. So Butch was one of my classmates. Well, one day he showed up at my door, and he goes, I got something to show you. His hair was bald. He had this shit all the way here. And I'm like, what did you do? He said, I got a cochlear implant. I never heard of it. Well, at the time, I couldn't care less about it. Well, 10 years later, I decided that I wasn't hearing very well. I used to wear a hearing aid. And it was like, it's not helping me. So why bother getting another hearing aid because it's not going to work? So that's when I decided to see if I could be a candidate. I went to the doctor. He referred me to my doctor in Chicago at Rush University. And it just went from there. So it took about 6 months from the day I went until the time I had my surgery. It took about 6 months. It's a learning experience because I have heard things that I never heard before. And what's funny is one of the first things I heard was when I farted in the car. I farted so loud that I thought, wow, that was loud. That's embarrassing because I've been farting all along, and I thought nobody could hear it. But now I have to be really careful because it is noisy. Oh, yeah. So that was one of my first things. But I remember when my husband came with me to my mapping, and at the time he sounded like a duck because it's not perfect. I needed to be fine-tuning. But it was kind of fun because I got to hear things differently. Like, I never heard the dryer go off. I never heard the microwave button go off. I mean, there's a lot of things that a hearing aid doesn't pick up. So like the water fountain, and just the other day I noticed that my dog is very noisy when he's drinking the water, and I'm like, what is that noise? And I realized it was my dog, and I thought, wow, it's amazing how far I've come then. I have had people telling me that I talk better, and that I am more clear, and I remember that, like, 2 months ago, I went to a convention in Rochester, and I stopped at the RIT Institute. And there was a hearing department, and I remember being a volunteer in this soundproof room, and he wanted to test my voice, how off I was. And I felt so good because I assumed that I talked really bad or really loud or whatever. He said, you speak so well, I'm going to have to kick you out of my class. So I thought that's a good feeling. I graduated from the Policy Governor's Council in May of 2007. I started the class in October of 2006. It was an 8-month class where I had to go to class 1 week and a month for 8 months. So that was a lot of fun. Because I was a leader in the hearing loss support group that I had in Indiana, somebody thought I could learn something from this policy-making class. So they gave me an application. I filled it out. I thought, you know what? If they pick me, I'll be honored to take the class. Well, I got picked, so I took the class. And it's been very helpful so that I could be a better leader for the people that I live by me.
Yes.
We all have to do a community project where it has to do something with your disability or something that you wanted to do. Half of the people in my class had a disability, and half of them were a parent of a child with a disability. So because I have a disability, I decided that because I have a hearing loss, I wanted to do something with hearing loss. So I thought I would do a walk for hearing. And I noticed that there was 4 walk. I mean, everybody had done a breast cancer walk.
Yes.
So why not a walk for hearing walk? So why not? So Chicago never had one. So I think Chicago should have one. Well, when I say Chicago, it's because I'm closer to Chicago than Indianapolis. So I had to apply, do a proposal to make sure they would pick me. They picked me. So I had to do everything from A to D, get a permit, get porta potty, get the entertainment, get the electric. I mean, it's not like you can just show up. It's not that easy. It's a lot of work. But that was my community project, and I really enjoyed doing it. The walk was October 6th in Lincoln Park, and we had 211 people come and support us. And we raised over $64,000.
$64,000.